We're getting a little closer here. All right, this part was kicking my butt. Yanking this thing out, you're not going to get it over your steering rack brace. So what you got to do, I'm going to try and, I don't think we yank it out. I'm going to try and yank it out. Okay. But what you got was kicking my butt because your bolts, you've got a bolt right here. You've got a bolt down below it. It's actually holding your booster. Yeah, go. So going right there, and then you got two that are right there, and then there's an odd one over there. So four. Here's all the screws, the bolts you got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of here, and that's going to take. Let's see. As you're looking at 1, 2 here. Oh yeah. Here's your upper one. That's that big wide one. Then on the other side, you can see right here, right down below. You got a bolt there, or a nut. You got to take off there. So with that, so now what we got? We still got to do that. I got to bust that loose again. Jeez. Because that was part of, I had to find the right lines to go to that. So let me get that 10. I just got 10 someplace, and get this broke loose, because all that's gonna come out with that to do this. All right, that was nice to know. I actually had vacuum when I popped this. That's awesome. Okay. That was nice to know. It was holding somewhat of a vacuum. That is awesome. And she's got a little bit of pag in here, which is good. It's kind of solid in it. Alright, so I'm getting a little closer here. Like I said, you had those 5 bolts coming through the firewall. So now I got to figure out how to disconnect the heating unit and stuff from the actual dash. Okay, so I've decided to go ahead and remove this, and this is part of your brake pedal assembly here. So what you're gonna have to do is you got to pull this clip. It's kind of funny looking, but don't lose that. And that pulls you'll be able to pull your master cylinder off of that, because that's part of your brake pedal and all that. Get your little push button through here. I don't know what holds that in there, but that's your brake light. So let's get that released. All right, so what I had here is a crazy little clip holding this whole thing up. Let me see. Come on. See that little clip right there? That was holding up, going right through that hole. The minute I popped that, she freaking dropped out. She dropped back. So that's where we're at right now. We're all up in here. Still see where the mouse was, making a mess. Alright, so I still got this steering rack mess here that's doing. My rack is making a mess here. So I don't know, I'm gonna lift that up. I don't know, we're messing with it here. Okay, it's like what you got. We got two wire bundles, one right here, one here. You disconnect those, and that'll separate everything from everything that you got here, from what I can see. But you also got the antenna here, which is up here. You got the other connection. So all that'll come out. Hopefully it'll all stay right with it. We're going to find out though. Because yeah, that's part of that. And those are down here, part of that. So let's see. I got to figure out how to. All it is a push in and then you pull that out. And then it does basically the same thing as your connectors on the tip them. Okay, I would popped it. Hopefully that's gonna be good for this. I don't think I got any more. Again, you got the freaking this steering rack in the way. Steering. You're steering hard or right there. All right. Okay, we're back. I decided to go ahead and move the shifter. Move the shifter out of the way. You got 4 10mm nuts holding it. And then you got to go down here. You're on your little shift cable. And that kind of goes in here and pushes over. This thing here locks in here, right? So you got this little piece here you got to push back, and that brings it off of that. Okay, so you lift that right up. Now I think that's good. Wife is calling me. I've got one more. What else have I got? I got something else down in here. Okay, I'm not sure where that's going. That might be your main part of your shifter. Okay, so as you can see, we have it out of the way. I believe I can lift this up and roll it back out of the way as long as this is out of the way. And I might be able to work back there without having to yank this whole thing out. We'll find out. Hey, Dane here, and welcome to my garage. Here's the third day on this Dodge Nitro, getting this dash pulled out. And last thing I was able to do, there was a clip that was holding that together. Right now I'm going ahead, I'm pulling the shift lock, see if I can get that, see if I get enough room there. I may have to pull the steering column completely out of the way. I'm trying to be careful because I just changed $1,100 pain in the butt there. Okay, I went ahead and I pulled the screws that hold the wall brackets on here. Get it disconnected from it, so make it easier to get it out around that. It's probably a pain putting them back together, but anyway. All right, so what I wound up doing, I wound up pulling the gear or your selector here. Had this little. This one cable here has got to go in here, and then your actual selector here, it's got a little 8mm bolt, and then you've got your actual selector cable. Now your selector cable has got marks on it, so make sure you don't move those marks or remove those marks. So you're gonna line those back up with those marks there. Somebody has been in here. Somebody's already done. I'm wondering if somebody already did this frickin' core and didn't do something right. So that's where we're at. I should be able to, I'm hoping I can just swing this all around and get it out of my way without having to pull this. If I do, there's a bolt that goes through, and there's a spline. And make sure the spline, know where the spline is when you go to re-hook it up. All right, I got it out. This is your bracket here, which holds your steering column. You're gonna wind up putting that. You got a bolt. You got a flat bolt here, flat bolt here. and that holds that. Locks in. That locks in like so. Get your other. Not gonna go like down. And that sits right on that and locks it in place. All right, so this was a big help. We got this overhead out of the way. You've got cannon plugs here that get in the way. I gotta do those. Get that way here and there. Because I really don't want to. Mess with that. You have to. Alright. Bushing. Alright. There it goes. Alright, takes care of that. Alright. And this is probably gonna yank it right out now. And I can slide that all the way over. Now there's nothing holding this in the way now. Alright, so that's completely off the wall there now. Alright. I'm just gonna come forward and sit right on the seat, I think. You've got cable. You've got a cable right here. I gotta get that. There's another. What are you? That sensor right there. So just harnesses now. Okay, on this side you got this little harness right here. Goes back in the back there. Make sure you get that hooked up because you are not gonna get that back hooked up when you get done. You've got one right here. I believe that's your blower. That's your blower motor harness. Push this in and come to me. That's the only thing holding me in place here. Okay, told you wrong because your plug. You've got another plug right here that plugs right in here, which is controlling your actuator for that. So that's all right there. Right now, I'm seeing. I just gotta get that freaking hell motor. The motor ply head is driving me freaking nuts. Let's see. There's another. Not sure where that one's going. Oh, right. Well, that's going out. I don't know where that's going. Not even attached to the. What this airbag? What is airbag? Might be an airbag. Airbag wear. Careful on that. Oh, it's getting plenty tight. Pop that. Here for a minute. I need a better system in there. Okay, yeah, that green harness is coming out here. So we gotta be careful of that. I think that might have something to do with the airbag. I'm not sure. All right, I'm gonna relieve some pressure by disconnecting this thing out of here. So now we got plenty. This is gonna pull. This is gonna live right out of here as soon as I frickin' get that blower motor plug disconnected. That had a little bit to do with it because I see green in there, which is corrosion. Somehow corrosion got in there. I'll be able to see once I get it out. We'll see what we got for a mess, but that's what wasn't letting it come out for me. It's a pain in the butt. All right, so we got it to the point where we can lift this right up a little bit more. Everything is just laying here. You gotta be careful of that cable again, but we have everything laying in here. That airbag, I don't even know where the airbag. Anything back here? What that airbag? out of there. All right, anyway, let's see if I can lift this right out. Okay, I want to try and pull this out, and this harness is still here, but you got this. It's plugged into the middle down there, so you can't lift it. So it's attached. All right, there we are. All I had to do is lift it out after I got that stupid harness disconnected. Now we got to take it back in the back, and this has got to be disassembled as well. You can see I had mice sitting up on top of here, so that didn't help anything. They did some chewing in here, and also I think that's kept that from opening. So we'll get it all cleaned up. But here's your inlet and outlet. Like I said, these have these little squeezed together. We'll get further in there. I want to find out what's actually the core or it was actually these hoses, because they're it's a three-piece. Okay, got in the back here. I'll be pulling it apart from here. Looks like I'm seeing a little bit of moisture in here, as if it was leaking around there, leaking down and out. So I can pressurize it and see what I can see with the stuff. But you see the freaking rodents chewing on the thing here. Man. Condenser. All right, so that's where we're at.